Hi, my name's Kiera, and
I'm Lottie.
we are Race Days and Real Talks. Welcome to our first podcast, which is
Yeah.
kind of scary. But
Sorry
we're
if
like,
the quality's not great. We're working.
we're
things out.
starting. This is our first one. Hello to all the people that we know and the people we don't as well.
Yeah.
Random people.
Also,
you know.
not sure about lighting currently.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes.
We may change the setting at some point.
It may keep changing.
It may just change every week. We don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, because we like haven't got any races to chat about, it's kind of a random one this time.
Yeah.
We haven't got very direction with it.
No.
It's kind of a bit odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we wanted to talk about mainly like obviously Formula One, what we're thinking about and things like that, feature the next season, maybe the 2026 with all the new changes happening and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to start with our favourite drivers?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Do you want to start?
Yeah. My favourite drivers are Lando Norris, Alex Albon, Ollie Behrman.
Yes, mine are Max Verstappen, Lando Norris, and Paul Aaron. But the only thing is that my dog is called Lando. So
Yeah.
that's
nice
my
fun
lovely fun fact. Lando does know that somehow, as I've met the group, and my sister told him on Twitch.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how. I don't know. He found out and he was like, "Oh, I haven't been told that before." I was like, "Yes, you have." About next season, thoughts, theories. What do you think is going to happen with all the new changes?
I'm excited, but also all the new regulations coming in. Obviously, the FIA making a lot of changes, possibly with
radio message.
Yeah. Oh. That's a bit of a controversial one because I know a lot of people watch for that.
Yeah. I don't watch for it, but I think it helps so much with viewers and like especially new people coming into the sport because like trying to get viewers and things like that. Yeah. We're sat and it's you know what drivers are thinking then, even if they're swearing, like you can bleep it out. It's not that big of a deal. And I feel like the FIA are just treating them like children. Yeah. Like swearing, it's a sport, like every sport, swearing at some point.
Compared to football or anything.
Yeah,
they
like
all do.
It's basic. But like I feel it's a bit silly because that means that FIA can now like determine the championship. Yeah. They can take points away, which I find a bit silly.
I get they don't like swearing in like interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
But that can be bleeped out and they don't tend to. Unless if they know they can. It's just, and especially in the heat of the moment, it just comes out.
It just comes out. And then we've got F175 Live coming up.
Yeah, next week, which is probably a bit sooner.
Yeah, probably a lot sooner. It might have already happened. I feel like it's going to be a big palaver. It could either be really good or really bad.
I think it will be good to get to see all the cars together. Yeah. But it could also not go to plan and anything could happen.
I feel like it's going to be a bunch of influencers sat there. We're going to get panned to like, I don't know, some random celebrity that we don't even know.
Yeah.
And like, because obviously we tried for tickets and then we couldn't get any. It would be such a good one. The first thing that we did was F175 Live. Yeah, I feel like it could either go really well or really badly. Like, it could just be done in a bad way where like, it looks really fake and it's just... And none of the drivers want to actually be there and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I mean, some drivers might not even show up. Hopefully they will, but anything could happen. They could be ill, whatever, and it might not.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, it will be interesting and something new.
Yeah, I think it will be nice to at least see what it's like, because even if they don't do it next season or seasons after, it's nice to
have it for a season.
Yeah.
Like, it makes it interesting. And also the whole 2026 thing, I think they're going to change so much.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking at the cars that they're going to change and how they're going to change it. I was like, geez.
Yeah, especially with, like, obviously having a new team in 2026.
Yeah.
That could...
Completely, like, I hate being like, oh yeah, we've got 22 drivers instead of 20. Like, 20 is a nice little even number. It's not like 22 isn't, but, like,
no,
20 is, like, a nice number. Whereas you look at 22 and everyone's more, like, squished together.
Yeah, exactly. Although I feel like it could be more entertaining, maybe.
True.
But still, also, I don't know if they'll do qualifying like an IndyCar when not all drivers qualify.
Yeah.
I don't think they will because it's only 2 extra drivers.
It's not going to change it that much.
I mean, they could do anything.
It depends on the FIA. Obviously, all Aston Martins had their content creators.
Yeah, I
know one of the girls that does it.
I like that. I think that's a good thing.
Because then it's bringing in like people that know what's going on.
Yeah, and obviously they're sponsored by TikTok, so it makes sense to do something like that. And then they get to share their experiences and share more about F1 to people that don't know about it.
Yeah, so. Exactly. It'll be a lot better.
Yeah, but if we touch on the 2026 season, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Adrian Newey's starting the actual creation and changing of the Aston Martin. Yeah. Also talks of a completely new lineup for Aston Martin in 2026.
I like Fernando.
I would like to see Fernando
I also
in the
think
car.
they need some new people.
Yeah.
They've had the same lineup for the past like 3 years.
Yeah, I'd love to see Felipe Drugovich get a chance. He's done so well in FP1s.
And Paul Aaron.
Yeah, and like Jack Crawford, he's obviously in the Aston Martin Academy. I think he could progress and do quite well.
I think they need some new, although they've got like 6 rookies. How many rookies? 6, 7?
5 or 6, yeah, something like that.
Complete opposite. Yeah, they've got loads of new rookies now. So like having that will affect like first race, Australia.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen. It could be a whole new ballpark.
Yeah.
No one knows what's gonna happen.
No.
Not even the drivers themselves. They're gonna be sat there and they're gonna be like, oh no.
Yeah.
That's what I would be like. If I was sat there, I'd be like, please don't crash into me.
And Australia's quite a tricky track.
Yeah.
They've said it's quite hard to drive on.
Yeah.
So.
And it's gonna take like a bit of time. Like qualifying.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch that.
Yeah.
That's pain. I don't know why they've done it. Like, I mean, I get it because that always used to be what they did.
Yeah.
But now we got so used to not having to wake up that early for the first one, because the first one's always like the most interesting. Well, not always, but like,
no, but like
generally something happens, or like, and this one, especially with not having like half the grid new, it's gonna affect, or like changed round, it's gonna affect it a lot.
Yeah, only 2 teams have kept the exact same lineup, which is quite
scary.
Crazy. Yeah.
I know, with Hull. Well, who's new? We've got Liam Lawson technically.
Yeah.
Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah. Ollie
Behrman, Jack Doohan.
Gabriel Bortoletto.
I love saying that name.
Is there any more?
Yeah, there's a couple more.
Oh, Isaac Hadjar.
Ah, yes. But I think it'll be R. A lot of people hate Liam, but I think he's such a cutie.
Yeah.
And like, I can't wait for that duo. Max and Liam. Oh, I forgot to say I love Liam. He's like
Yeah.
He's so cute. And like, I'm always sat there and I'm like, oh, like watching him play guitar. I sat and watched the whole thing. So, who are we thinking is going to be the strongest pairing?
Strongest pairing? Everyone thinks Lewis and Charles, but I personally think Lando and Oscar. They've done the last 2 seasons together.
They love each other.
Yeah.
Lando Scott.
They just won the constructors together.
Yeah.
I think we can go for a second.
I agree.
If we've got the car, they can do it.
Well, McLaren's got all their like new, well, not massively new, but they've got quite a few new things coming in.
Yeah.
Whereas Ferrari said they've got 1% of the 2024 car, which I was like, that could end badly.
But they obviously create their car based on Monza.
Yeah.
So it could either go really well or really badly for them.
Yeah.
And obviously, I wonder how they'll do with strategy this season, because they obviously struggled.
That could be an interesting one. Yeah, everyone said Lewis and Charles, but like fully, like that is literally my sister's driver pairing. Like, she is obsessed with both of them, and like she's loved Lewis for so long. But I'm like, I don't see, like, everyone says, like, I agree on Lando and Oscar fully, but I'm fully thinking that Max and Liam could be so strong.
I think they will. Yeah, they get on well. They've known each other for years, obviously,
and like obviously they've done so much like press and interviews together. They know each other. They know how they drive.
Yeah, and
they know how to deal with it. So I feel like they could be really good.
Yeah.
I think George and Kimi could either flop, or either do really well or they do really badly. Because I feel like with having someone 18 coming in.
But I suppose he's progressed so quickly. He's a bit like Lando, where he's just gone straight up.
And he's gone straight up.
Lando's obviously done well. Very well.
But I think it's taken Lando an extra few years.
Yeah.
And considering he's stuck with McLaren for so long, like, he's a little McLaren boy. But like, because he's stuck with them for so long, that he's been in the lows and he's now been in the highs, and he wants to stay in the highs.
Yeah.
And I think that could be really big.
Because everyone says, oh, Kimi should have started in Williams.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the way to do it. The environment doesn't seem as junior friendly, I guess. He's not a junior, but like for a beginner driver, a rookie, it feels like, obviously they had Logan was a rookie there.
Yeah.
Latifi was a rookie there. They both struggled.
Yeah, because Williams is such like a different car to the Mercedes. Even though it's the junior one, it's so much harder to actually like drive, which is going to be so interesting seeing Carlos do that.
Yeah.
My mom's going to love that. But like fully, I think Carlos is going to have an interesting one, because he could, again, because of the Williams is so like hard, he could be like George Russell and like fully succeed after a couple of years. It will just take the time to actually get there.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. It's a bit.
And obviously they've got their new title sponsor. I don't remember what it is. It starts with an A, I don't know.
Aramco.
No, that's come on. But I feel like that could really help them.
I think McLaren's the only team without
I saw that.
lead
without a title sponsor.
Which I quite like.
They obviously have quite a lot of sponsors other than that.
They've got so many. I mean, they've got quite a few big names, but none of them are like title names.
No.
They're just like because they got the Google on the wheels.
I think that's really helped them.
Yeah.
Like rather than having a title sponsor where everyone goes.
Title sponsors could ruin you.
It's like Haas a few years ago with the energy drink in their name. They really struggled with them, and obviously they didn't last very long with them.
It'll be interesting to see what sponsors stick. I think I agree with it's such a controversial thing because I think I agree with Red Bull on the idea to put Liam in because although he hasn't been in for as long, and I know the whole like Alex Albon situation, it could go awful or it could go really well.
Yeah.
I think it just depends, and currently looking at it, Liam would be better because I think he's stronger.
Okay, so I thought we'd touch on different motorsport series that we watch or that we potentially might talk about.
Yeah.
So obviously F1.
Yes. F2. F3.
F3 possibly is depending on the timings of the race. We might not be able to watch them.
And then not always F4.
No, British F4 though. But yeah, we might go to some British F4 races.
Oh, I hope. And then
touring cars, IndyCar.
Where else?
I think that's roughly it. There might be some more.
Might have some random. We'll go Brands Hatch, which is
we're going to Brands Hatch, possibly for GB3 and GB4 as well. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, IndyCar season starts in 2 weeks. Yeah. Quite excited for that.
So excited.
Also Elms, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
IndyCar. I don't know where the first race is. I don't remember. I mean, I'm hoping personally Andretti for me. With Carl Kirkwood.
Yeah, that sounds good. I do know them.
Marcus Ericsson.
Yeah.
That's the team I'm rooting for. And I like Pato Award, but...
Pato. There we go.
With McLaren.
Yes, McLaren. I'm kind of more McLaren gal than anything.
Yeah, I'm McLaren and Andretti, but...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever works. That's fair enough.
Yeah, so also, do we want to... Constructors' predictions, maybe?
Well, I'm thinking... I'm hoping for Lando for
World Driver Champion.
World Drivers.
Yeah. I think if he's got the car, I think he can do it.
And I think he's got the mentality now. He needs to be slightly more aggressive this season because he's quite polite. He's a nice guy, and like he doesn't want to get on anyone's nerves. But I think he has to like step on at least Max's.
Yeah.
I know they're friends, and I love their friendship like to millions. But this isn't going to ruin it.
No. Exactly.
Like Lewis and Max weren't friends.
No.
They were never going to have that.
And Max wants Lando to do well. He's said it multiple times.
Exactly.
I think he'd prefer, if he wasn't world champion, I think the next person he'd want it to be Lando. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So constructors. I don't know. That's a bit debatable because I feel like it could either, depending how Liam Lawson performs, it could be Red Bull, McLaren.
Ferrari, Mercedes, it could be any of them to be fair. It depends on their car again, which obviously we don't know how strong their cars are going to be until Australia.
Literally. But the thing is that like we might have to do an update when we get to Australia. But the thing is that with Ferrari and Mercedes, I'm not feeling like they're going to be strong enough.
No.
I've just got this in my mind that they're not going to be strong enough.
I think they'll have strong parts during the season, but I don't think
they're going to be
strong enough
constructors.
He won a championship in 2008. No,
yeah.
16 years ago.
16 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was a while ago. So I think that could be it. What about you?
Yeah, I think Lando can do drivers. Yeah. And I don't know. Red Bull or McLaren, I think, are the top contenders for the
currently looking
constructors.
At things.
Yeah. If we were to go off last season, that's what I'd say. Oh, yeah. Whereas this season, it could be different, obviously.
It could be completely out of it.
I would personally say McLaren, I think.
Yeah.
For constructors champions. But
I think I would want a Lando win and a Red Bull constructors. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm a bit like on different sides of things.
I've got a question. So winners and losers, obviously. Yeah. Who do we think will do well this season? Who do we think maybe won't show their full potential?
I'm feeling for winners, Lando,
Oscar, Max.
Potentially Lewis or Charles. I think one or the other.
Yeah, I don't.
One will struggle.
Yeah.
One will be fine.
And I think Kimi will.
One of the rookies will be better.
One of the rookies will
do well.
Show a lot of like potential.
I'm kind of hoping Ollie, but you know.
Yeah, I mean Ollie's done well anyway.
Yeah.
But I think he'll go to Ferrari at some point.
We hope. We'll go on to that eventually.
Yeah, if it happens.
Yeah.
But I think if they provide Kimi with the right car, he will push it so much that he'll be on the podium multiple times, possibly winning.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, after our bingo, I'm thinking there will be one rookie or two rookies that stand out across the most. And I'm hoping, I mean, Ollie is in a Haas.
Which
could be...
They're like they were the end of last season.
True, it could be good. Well. If he pushes it, then it will be good. And he'll be like a top midfield car.
Yeah.
However, considering the like way that Kimi's going and how he's got a good car already, it could either be like the Logan situation where he's in Formula 1 too early, or it's like perfect timing because he is only 18.
Exactly.
Like he's 2 years older than us.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a debatable one, but I feel like Esteban...
From what I've seen, Esteban and Ollie get on well. It's just whether they will on track.
It's just on the track, you never know until it gets there.
No, exactly.
Like Esteban could have the whole Pierre thing where they absolutely like despise each other on the track. I think the thing is also is that teammates like are often, obviously they come and go.
Yeah.
So like he won't have him forever.
No, exactly.
And like I think Esteban's more on his way out and Ollie's more on his way in.
Yeah.
Because Esteban's gone.
Yeah, and the young ones are coming in now.
Oh yeah.
Like
we had a whole 10 years of like the same lot. Kind of. I mean, with people moving in and out, but it was generally the same base of like Max and Lewis and all that.
The same kind of age, whereas now the average age is like 25.
Yeah, literally, it's so young. And so we've got all these rookies in now where it could just, they could control the pack.
Yes.
Especially if they're in decent cars.
Yeah, obviously Jack Doohan.
That's
I hope he does well.
Yeah.
Every part of me hopes he does well. But I also think there's so much pressure on him with having Franco, Paul, and Rio.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's how you say his name. As reserve drivers who could all at any point.
I feel like you need to give them at least a season.
Yeah, also the Alpine was awful at the start of last season. What if it's the same?
What if it's the same and what if it keeps staying the same? Like, I feel bad because it could easily ruin his whole career.
Exactly. Like, if he's dropped from a team within 5 races, he'll be a bit like Nick de Vries. He obviously got more, but he's not gone excelled in Formula E.
He's going to have to try as hard as he can to get as high as he can and beat out his teammate.
Yeah, exactly. He has a really good teammate, and I think he gets on well with Jack. So I think he'll push him as much as he can because I think he wants Jack to stay in that seat.
However, I feel like he might push him too much at points.
Yeah, that's
could be the problem. Who else do you think will be a loser?
Oh,
the
Saubers again. I don't think they're gonna.
It's the problem for my sweepstakes. I feel like again, same as kind of last year. Lance Stroll, Nico Hülkenberg. I don't think Gabriel Bortoleto. I don't think Isaac Hadjar eventually might get better. But I think currently he just won't because the AlphaTauri. It's never been top notch. It's never been anything.
No, it becomes fast at points in the season, but I think he'll really struggle when it's not. Up to standard.
At the beginning, he'll struggle. I think it will just slowly it will be a long process and time for things. And also having like a few people, obviously all the rookies coming in, a few of them will excel, a few of them won't. And the ones who won't have that risk of being replaced by like 3 or 4 people that are like ready to come into Formula 1 and like prove themselves. Like Franco already has kind of proved himself.
Yeah, I personally think he was put in too soon. Because obviously in a span of, I don't know how many races he did, 9?
Something like that.
He crashed a good 5, 6 times. And obviously Logan did 12, 14, I think he did 14
Yeah, I think he did 14.
He did crash a few times, but it's the pressure.
But
and
coming into it, and I think he was put in too early as
obviously with Alex's crashes as well, I think the Williams car was just not up to standard.
Considering that, what are you thinking about female drivers? Because we've got now the female championship. F1 Academy.
Yeah, I mean...
We've got that, and then we've got the chance of them coming in, although it's a lot less likely, we've got the chance of having
and they've got to work
coming into F1. Yeah. Or F2 first. But, like, it will take a while, but I think we might get one eventually.
Yeah, I hope, obviously, Jamie Chadwick, she's an incredible driver.
She's so sweet.
I really hope she gets the opportunity to do a free practice at some point.
She needs something to prove herself.
I'd just like to see what she's like in the car.
Yeah. It would be so interesting to see a female in the car now, because we had one, like, something like 50 years ago or something like that, a while ago. Whereas recently, because the car has adapted so much, obviously to more male parts and all that stuff, I think it'll be interesting to see if she'll either crumble, which I'm hoping not, or she'll succeed, get first, which would be a miracle. And I think some of the principals need to think of awakenings of the female generation. Because obviously, I mean, we're 2 females, obviously. So, like, us seeing all of them, I don't think team principals are looking enough at the female people.
And I mean, obviously, every team has a driver in F1 Academy, and some seem to show so much more support.
They should have longer, like a bit longer. I think it should be 3 years, because
I think they're adding more teams now. So
I think with F1 Academy though, is that it's so like specific. I mean, obviously Susie Wolf's running it.
And
I love her. Icon. I think having all of that as an idea is a bit, like, obviously it's a lot, but like I think principals need to look at that. Who's top? Who can we think about even putting in as a practice or something like a practice or a sprint race,
or just supporting them more so they can go into F3 and F2? Because how many drivers have we had? Sophia Flörsch, and I think there's been a couple others. I find a lot of female drivers don't get the sponsors they need or the team support that they need, which is why I think F1 Academy is good, because you get the support of a team.
I think like a lot of the time they are sat there and then they're like, well, we're doing our best, we're doing this, and yet no one's looking at us. And it can be quite degrading. Like, if I was in that position, I would feel awful, because I would be like, oh my god, no one's looking at me, why don't I just change my driving completely and go to like IndyCar or something like that, would be my idea. Whereas I think Formula One, although they're trying to get more female race engineers, they are increasing the female viewers and like team of being a part of teams. I mean, they've got Esteban's new race engineer. Is the first female.
Laura or something.
It's Laura. She's obviously coming in, which could be really big. Especially considering it's been only males so far. It could be massive. So having Esteban being the first one, I think it's quite interesting. Considering it's in a Haas, it could be new. It could completely fail. I think they need someone in more of a midfield card, but leave that. I think it could create a whole new thing for us.
I think so, and I think it really like helps younger girls who don't have the funding to go into karting to still be able to work in motorsports, because they look up to these people and they go, I can do that.
And also with Max being a girl, well, potentially a girl dad, there's a big chance that he will be a big advocate for that. Especially if the girl wants to go into racing, because he said
he will support.
Doesn't mind. He'll support anything, which I love, because he knows the pressure that he was under and the stress that he gave him when he was, which I think he doesn't want to have. Especially considering like the name this child is going to have. That is a big, she's going to be in the limelight forever.
And people will look up to her if she does decide to do that. Obviously she might not.
But he said do whatever. I think he's not going to push it, but because she'll probably be surrounded by cars her whole life, there is a high chance that she will go into that. And I think that could push him to saying, oh, we need to put this into Formula One, we need to create more, which I think could be massive. So,
and obviously with communities like Girls on Track, they really help push girls and females working with that and getting the work experience they need to learn about it and all this. So I really like that.
I think it's really good.
I mean, do we want to talk about Goodwood?
I love my Goodwood. I've been to Goodwood since 2021, I think. I went with my neighbours every year. I genuinely love it. The amount of people that I've met there. I mean, I met Logan last year. I've met the whole quadrant group minus Lando. I met Jomi Chadwick as well. That's what I meant. So having that opportunity to meet, I go on the Fridays, by the way. If you want to say hi. So having that is such a good, because it's not massively expensive, and it's although it is, the amount of stuff that you have there
is crazy.
Considering you have all the F1 section and the Range Rover section and all the cars, people are marketing their cars so often there. And having all of that can be really good for the younger generation specifically, although it's been around for literally ages. Having the main race hill and all that stuff can really be, I actually love it, because it's one of the things that I go to every year that's race related, whereas I don't go to Silverstone or anything. I've been to Silverstone qualifying, but I've never been to the actual race. Which I'm guys, invite me. But yeah, so having that, and then having Goodwood.
Yeah, and it helps you to learn about, like, it gives you an insight to the different series. Yeah. So you might want to watch motorsport but not know where to start.
Yeah, exactly. And having, because last year it was, well, this year coming up, it's all about Formula One.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the cars. So there is a lot more chance that we're going to have Formula One drivers there.
Yeah, which obviously is good in a way, but obviously some people don't want to just see them.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's good because they can just look around at the cars.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the good thing I like about
others
Goodwood.
are going and saying hi to the drivers.
Yeah,
if they can.
If they can. Usually, and that's the thing. Goodwood's such like a big environment, and it's so like brought up now as more not like normal, but like a lot of people go there.
Yeah.
I mean, Saturday and Sunday, I've never been on those days, but you said it's
the Sunday was
manic.
So busy. But
it's always so busy. It's always raining.
Such a great environment.
Yeah, and everyone's really sweet there.
I think that'll be really good this year.
Yeah, I can't wait for this year. And last year it was all based around Red Bull because that was amazing. I mean, you went on the Sunday where you had all the drivers there, like what was it, Daniel, Max, all of them.
Yeah.
Whereas I went on the Friday where they had, I mean, I saw Adrian Newey,
David
Coulthard. There's a whole group of them that were there. They weren't like the drivers, but they still had people there, which I like, because even on the days, because I always go on the Friday because it's just cheaper and like
it's not as busy.
Yeah. So it's a lot, and you've still got the same thing. It's not always the biggest stars, but you've still got them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think this year it'll be a lot better because they might spread out the drivers.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it will give more people more. They need to think more about the Friday. I'm like, I want more drivers there, because usually the drivers are on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
But it's a whole thing.
I'm assuming each team will like put academy drivers during the week and stuff like that. Obviously, the Thursday and the Friday probably academy drivers. Saturday and Sunday more the actual
F1,
drivers.
Yeah.
If they do that, they might not. Obviously, it might just be the cars.
It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah,
because I think they could base it all around Formula One, or they could like change it around or do whatever.
So they've got the rally and stuff. They have British touring cars.
They have all the Ranger, like all the old cars.
Everything. It's so inclusive to everyone.
Yeah, and like
it's just,
there's literally all types of driving there, which
exactly. I think that pretty much sums up this episode.
Yeah, but we were just going to talk about guests and what we're going to do in the future, just to finish off. So we will hopefully, if we can get in touch with some people, get some guests, see the drivers, go to some places,
or just people in the motorsport industry
that we know, or like people that we've contacted to try and get to them. I think a lot of them will be just us talking because we like to yap. Especially once it starts becoming more race days and things like that.
Yeah. When the season starts, I think we'll have a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, especially based on season and future predictions and all that stuff. So I think it'll be a lot more. This was kind of just basics and things like that. And
this is kind of just getting to know us and what these episodes are
what we're thinking, what we're like, and all that.
With that, I guess, thank you for watching or listening.
Thanks. If you're still here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see.
So thank you.
Bye.